All right, so injury updates for y'all here. So Taylor Rapp, DeMar Hamlin, Curtis Samuel, and Cam Lewis, all limited today and will be listed as questionable for the game. No one at this point will be ruled out for the game. So I'll turn it over to you with your questions.
Douglas are good to go.
Yes.
Just with all of those injuries with guys who are playing safety, how do you feel about how Cole Bishop's been now going into maybe his third start in a row? Like, how do you assess how the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, impressed with his improvement, really, and good to see. The first game was a little bit rocky, and as it is for most rookies, and the first season is sometimes that as well overall. But I think Cole has really done a nice job. Joe Dana, who works with Cole directly, and then Micah being around too, to kind of fill in some of the gaps when coach isn't around there. So it's been fun to watch Cole develop. So we're looking for more as he moves forward here.
I'm interested with Micah. He told us the other year that he.
No. It's not my equipment though. You know, just give him the
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
With Micah, when he was injured the other year, he told us that he never wants to be a coach. He
Micah
wants to leave.
said that?
Yes, he told us that. But it seems like kind of his role right now. He's coaching up younger guys, and
Yeah.
I was curious just how he has grown into that, embraced it. It seems natural for him, but just curious since he had said in the past that that's not necessarily what he wants to do.
Yeah, I think a lot of players say that, and then they end up coaching. So with Mike, I think he's pretty firm in his conviction on that. But he is such a servant and a people person that he does have a unique ability to help others, and not just in a football way, but also life way as well. So he's just as you guys know him, a great person, and does a great job of just his day-to-day interactions with players around here, with staff, and he did that when he was actively playing as well. This is a little bit of a different role this year.
Sean, is he starting to look like a little bit more like Micah Hyde? I know it's only been like a month, and he's coming off of a lot of time off football. But is a month in, is it feeling like, hey, maybe this guy is getting close to just getting back out there in some capacity?
I think he's where he feels like he needs to be, whatever that is, right? So I think really his role on our team, as Catherine mentioned, is trying to help others and shed some light on how the defense plays and how the defensive system works, and just be in that type of space for right now, and we'll see where it goes moving forward.
Coach Joe Brady was asked about James Cook this season and what's been the difference from this year compared to the last few seasons. And he said, his confidence is always increasing, but one thing that he thought has helped with James Cook and the offensive line this year is the fact that James has spent time in some of those O-line meetings, has spent some extra time with Aaron Cromer this season as well. How much do you think that has made a difference in that group together really having a better season this year?
Well, that continuity's number one, and then two is when you meet together, it tends to get everybody on the same page, right? So we've talked about this before of you've got a little meeting going on over here, in a separate room, a meeting going on over here, and as much as you want those meetings to sound exactly alike with the messaging being totally on the same page and aligned, when they're together, it's all that much easier because there's one voice. And Coach Cromer and the offensive coaches, Joe as well, I think at some point during the season, maybe somewhere about 1/3 into the season, started doing those meetings together, and that's certainly helped. Everyone being on the same page. In this case, for a running back like James, hey, this is where the ball is supposed to hit on this particular run. The O-line knows where the running back's going to be and what he's reading, and so again, just the offense being connected in the run game in this case has been real good for us.
When you see coaches, position coaches or players take that on themselves to say, hey, let's try this, and then you see the payoff, how much, what do you think of that when you have guys who are making effective decisions like that?
That's huge. Number one, it takes it off of my plate. And number two, that's being solution-oriented, growth-minded, however you want to label it. And as a head coach, I appreciate when that type of ownership and proactiveness is taken to get us better.
What went into having Dwayne Carter down last week?
The guys that we feel like can help us the most in that particular game, and felt like maybe he needed another week to come off of the injury that he was dealing with still. So just trying to find also our best 5 week to week inside right now.
It's been, oh, go ahead.
Josh said the other day, like the new number one priority is to get the 2 seed because that's not what you guys can control.
Yep.
How do you kind of make sure the team knows that and understands that, but at the same time is also focusing on the game that they have to play as opposed to the big picture?
Well, the big picture, I think, is always, at least with the way the media covers the NFL these days, it's the big picture is probably spelled out rather well for the guys. Our focus has to be on the minute-to-minute, the game-to-game focus more than anything, and that's, the Jets this weekend and us playing as good a football as we can play. And so that's really been the approach all season long is preparing like, we need to, and then getting ourselves in the right headspace mentally to play our best football 1 week at a time. So that's been rather consistent for us, really.
It's been 11 weeks since you faced the Jets, and they're obviously not having the season they had hoped. But what stands out to you about what they're still capable of and just how they're maybe different from, that October meeting?
Yeah, they've got, obviously, with Devontae added to the mix, and you've got 2 great receivers and a heck of a running back behind them with Brees, and along with other players on the offensive side and defensive side. So I've talked before about, with the Jets roster overall, I think is very talented across the board, and they've done, they've made big plays on special teams in the return game. They've blocked kicks, they've faked kicks, fake punts. So, they're extremely capable as a football team overall.
All right.